Seriously. We'll get into that a bit later. But I want to tell you that there's a reason why God hasn't answered your prayer yet. He hasn't, quote, rescued you from your suffering because He's strengthening your heart. He's preparing your heart for something more. He's teaching you. Trusting God. Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6. Lean not on your own understanding. Trust God with all your heart. Acknowledge Him in all your ways, and He will direct your paths. Trust God. But you see, I can get up here and talk all about this, and next week you're just going to be, man, my car broke down. You know what? And I might go home, and I don't want you to think of me like some perfect Christian, because I'm not a good Christian. Anything good that you see in me is not me as a Christian, it's God. Anything good from me is just nothing. Evil. I have nothing good in me. But you see, a challenge that I had within my soul was I wanted God to hear my prayers, and Satan sort of came to me and said, well, Nick, I think you should first fix this up, and maybe when you become a bit better, then God will hear your prayers better. Or I thought, well, maybe if I pray a bit slower, repeat a few lines, maybe God's going to hear me then better. Open the Bible a bit. No worries. Sweet. Nothing. But it says, when are you going to find God? When you search for Him with all your heart. You will find Him. He's declaring it to you this morning. You're going to find Him. Just keep on seeking Him. He knows everything about you. He knows your prayers before you feel them coming on. He knows the sufferings you're going through. He knows the desires of your heart. And that is the living sacrifice that you and I are asked to do. What does that mean? To lay all your desires down. To lay all your frustrations, your anxiety, all your discouragement, all your disappointments, all your goals and your dreams. That's where you lay it all down at the feet of Jesus. But I was still confused. Why, if God was so good and He's so perfect and He had a plan for me, why would He still make me like this? What possibly could He do with me? Now you might be thinking the same thing. I'm going to get to that. But this is what happened to me when I was 15 years old. We go through John chapter 9 through Bible class, and it's where Jesus comes across a man who was born blind with His disciples. His disciples asked Jesus, why was this man born blind? Do you know what Jesus said? So that the works of God may be revealed through him. Now, at the age of 15, I didn't quite understand that. But as you read on, guess what happens? Jesus spits in the dirt, makes a sort of clay, puts it on the man's eyes, anoints the man's eyes, sends him to go wash in the river, and guess what? That man comes back seeing. Praise God. Now, it doesn't record the reactions of the crowd, it only records the reactions of the Pharisees. But I'm telling you right now, with 100% conviction, I can tell you now that if someone witnessed that miracle, at least one person would have been changed from witnessing that. I mean, let's think of it. If God gave me arms and legs right now, we would be like, whoa. We would be changed forever, right? So I had this mad plan. And I was going to run it by God. I said, God, how about this plan? How do you think this sounds? I said, God, look, give me arms and legs, and then I'll go on TV, and I'll go on an Oprah Winfrey show. I'll do anything. I'll quit school, which sounded pretty good at the time. Go on missionary trips, go to the ends of the earth. Just go for you. He didn't answer me. I thought, but God, this sounds pretty good. I thought, but this has got to be your will. Nothing. To cut that part of my story short, this is what happened. God said to me, Nick, why do you really, really want arms and legs? I said, God will be mad. Now, when I say God speaks to me, I didn't mean an audible voice, but I don't know. Have you felt God speaking to your heart?